The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design. Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
This is where the fun begins.
Get ready for raw, unfiltered Razorback talk. Nobody knows what they'll say next. It's time to go inside the Hawg Pen with Razorback Zach, Marcus MC Carlton, and Sarah Swish Vogel. Talk to you.
What's up, everybody? It's another Wednesday. Actually, yeah, is it Wednesday night? Yeah, it's Wednesday night. Oh, my days are running together. I had the last 2 days off, but it's another exciting episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. Oh, my goodness. I got to love it. All right. From the NEA, we've got the glue that holds the whole thing together, and he's finally brought the goatee back. Oh, my goodness. It's Marcus MC Carlton. And from the NWA, she is the most savage person on our staff. That's why we call her Savage Sarah Vogel. What's up, y'all?
Not much.
MC, you're muted, dude.
Not again.
Details. I swear, details.
There we go. Well, how are we? We've been gone for a week. We forgot how to do this, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently forgot how to turn off the mute button.
Have we been gone 2 weeks or 1 week?
2 weeks. We didn't do it last week, so
oh yeah. See, I can't tell you what's going on because my brain's all kind of scattered. But
I'm still in school.
Right? Right? All right, do me a favor before we get started tonight. Leave us a review. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Don't leave us 4 stars, though. Please. I'm begging you. Give me 5 stars because it helps our algorithm. See what I did there? Oh, tell MC when to quit bitching on Twitter. Tell me when to shut the hell up and tell Sarah to just eat her taters and just be there. But leave us a review. I don't care. All right, y'all. I didn't mean to spring this on you at last minute, but I have to say 2 of the most hated words in all of collegiate foot athletics. If I'm gonna land this guy on our staff come the fall. He is a friend of mine, and D-Mad knows him. He was a former host on the Man Cave. He's a friend of mine. He is going to be hosting our new wrestling show come the fall. And one of the conditions that he said to bring him on staff was I had to say Roll Tide for Nathan. I'm going to go vomit now. MC, this
I guess
is
you're
your
the
show.
end of the show. Here's the end of the show. Bye, everybody.
Wow. All right. That was fun. See ya.
Okay, now that I got that out of the way, and I hope he's satisfied for that because I'm not saying it again. Let's talk a little Razorback football, shall we? A couple of
double
things.
hazing for that dude, whoever that is.
Yeah, Nathan Wilson. You know him. He used to be.
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving him a hard time.
He better. I did say it like I meant it. I did say. I told you. I did say it like I meant it. Anyway, let's talk football because here's the thing. And again,
do we have to?
Well, we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. I promise we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. But I'm sorry, the whole
Even my young son over here sighed when you said let's talk football.
I threw up a little bit when I said it.
Every time he says football, I'm like, I guess I'll wait my
turn.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this real quick. We had another running back hit the portal, and it was one of the ones that surprised the hell out of me, and that was Dom Johnson.
I was a little surprised.
I don't think anybody saw that coming. But on the flip side of that, we did get a freshman quarterback out of Coastal Carolina, Blake Boda, 6'4", 200 pounds, committed today. We don't need another quarterback.
If Bobby says we need another quarterback,
he's a freshman. I don't mind it because the 2 other guys are juniors, so I don't mind it.
Yep, I'm kind of with you.
Let him start in Bobby's system. Get 2-3 years out of him before he actually plays. Running back, I wish I would have. I don't know if there's a stat sheet out there. I haven't found it, but for the spring game, did he play? Because no one could reply to me when I asked. So to me, that's why it wasn't surprising because he wasn't on the original starting lineups for the 2 teams.
Right.
So
I don't think so, but it could be. I mean, I could be mistaken. He could have very well. And because it was such a crappy game that nobody even noticed.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, football's been kind of quiet for the most part. Jacoby Criswell goes back to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he should have ever left, but to each his own, I guess.
Well, I mean, I can't blame the kid for wanting to come home and see if it's going to work out or not, but it didn't work out. So he goes back to, I guess what's old is new again.
Yeah.
I mean, same old.
Have to play behind Drake May now. So maybe he'll see the field.
Maybe. It's entirely possible. We're getting notes from our producer, D-Mad.
He was a CB, not a QB.
No, he was a QB because I double-checked it. I did my homework.
Who's that? Buddha? Or
Boda.
Buddha?
I'm
going to call him Buddha.
Hey, that works.
I don't know. That's kind of disrespectful to the late, great Alex Collins. So I may not do that.
Yeah.
We'll go back to Buddha.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have let me bring in D-Mad because he's chomping at the bit. MC, we've got a surprise for you, dude.
Oh, okay.
I just want to say I've been talking to somebody and he decided to show up. Hey, shout out my boy Alandis Harris, bro. Shout out my boy Alandis Harris, bro.
How about that?
Bird Nation K9s. We appreciate you,
Wow.
Alandis.
What's going on, Alandis? Welcome
That's
to
awesome.
Inside the Hawg Pen, my man. Hey, Alandis, if you ever want to sit in and hang out with us here in the pen, hit us up. You got a hot seat and a hot mic ready for you, buddy.
Especially when basketball season hits. Come on.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I need some help. I need to replace Zach because he doesn't know nothing.
Which we and I'm going to say it. We're a basketball school now, so basketball season is going to go year round. So,
Yup.
Hey,
facts.
Alandis, we appreciate you stopping in, bud. Keep on watching for us.
how
Yes,
about
sir.
that? That's awesome.
And of course, I'm getting lit up by saying "Roll Tide" at the beginning of the show. And Nathan, by the way, I just like to point out, Nathan is lighting my phone up saying, "If you want me back, you got to say it like we practiced." I said it, and I said it twice. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's all you get.
That's
Oof.
it. So, okay, so let's talk basketball for a minute.
Yes.
Please.
All right.
Please.
I gotta give MC a hard time
Yep.
because at the beginning of the year, he was all about TB2.
I'm gonna eat my crow.
He was all about TB2.
I wasn't alone. I wasn't alone. Dude
Like,
was
you
like
and- you and half
preseason
the
SEC
fan base.
player of the year.
You and half the
So-
fan base were drinking
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
not. I don't
That
know
was
if y'all
the TB2
remember.
Kool-Aid right there.
I
But
called him chicken legs, and y'all said, "Oh no, he's still going to be good."
that was all this dude,
You know, you win some, you lose some.
whatever
You know,
direction he's facing.
you know,
My brother from the East Coast said, "Roll that tide out of there."
yeah. Exactly.
I'm telling y'all right now, I'm getting lit up. But are we surprised that he went from declaring for the draft to the transfer portal?
I actually think
he
it's a.
should've-
Go ahead,
I
Sarah. I'm
thought
sorry.
I thought originally he announced to do both, but then when I read it again, like it was just a draft. I don't know why he didn't announce both at the same time. Everybody knows that man's not going first or second round anymore. Maybe late second round, but he's not a good pick right now. You're going to make more at NIL at this point in the game. He has a better chance to go to the portal. I never understood why he went to the draft. Never.
Well, and I think the portal move is a smart move because it keeps his options open with the way the rules are now. Is that if he doesn't get drafted, you know, he's got options. And I think, Sarah, I think you're spot on. I think he has an opportunity to make more money in NIL than he will with an NBA contract because I think the best he can hope for right now is one of those undrafted free agent two-way deals, kind of like what Austin Reeves got when he was, you know, when the draft came and went and he didn't get drafted. That first contract that he got that was kind of the two-way deal, I think that's the best that TB can hope for right now. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful. It's just, I mean, he averaged 8 points a game this year. You know, and that's coming off of what was supposed to be SEC Player of the Year type stuff.
A more interesting question is why he went to the portal. Like, obviously, Cal didn't think he was good enough to stay here.
Well, here's the other. I mean, you got to think too. He didn't sign an agent, so he had the opportunity to. Maybe he got word that he's just not draft material yet.
Yeah.
And maybe he could improve his stock somewhere else, like a non-SEC school.
But I'm surprised that he wouldn't want to stay under Cal, who's made draft picks. You know.
Well,
I mean, you want to talk about a draft guru? I mean, that's who we have now.
I'm gonna say one word, and it's gonna sum this whole argument up. Ego.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Cal definitely told him, "I don't want you. Get out of here." That's, in my opinion, that's the only way that happens. Because there's no way he's going to go to another school and get more money than he would have got from Chicken Man here. Like, there's no way. Or from the Hunts. Because he already had dealings with the Hunts.
Let me roll to the Hog Wild Life fan feedback because she has been going through withdrawals and she was the first one to comment. Our number one fan is in the house, Casey Sutton. What's up, Casey? She says, "Hi, guys." And then, of course, the newest member of the ITHP family is Jesse Randall Thurman. He joined our staff just a few days ago. Finally, the crew has come back to the Hog Pen. Should have done that in my best Dwayne Johnson voice, but I'm lacking tonight, apparently. But yeah, no, it's lost my voice there for a minute. Sam Jones says, at Sarah, you are missing that the NBA drafts off potential, whereas NIL is results driven for upperclassmen. The portal could be a move for Hogs to renegotiate as well as move on elsewhere. Options.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I definitely think there's a reason he wasn't going to get as much here. He's going to go somewhere else, but I still don't think, I mean, to me, if he comes to my school and I'm supporting them with NIL and I look back at what's happened and some of his attitude, I ain't giving him money. Personally.
True. Chris Shaw wants to know, I need you to do some research for me. Zach Curve. That's me, by the way, for y'all don't know. That's my real name. Women's hockey on the Hill. Need info on it.
Yep.
So
Women's Hockey Club.
University of Arkansas has recently announced the creation of a women's hockey club beginning play in the 2024-2025 season to go along with the men's hockey club that is already going and rolling. But there you have it, Mr. Shaw. For your
if anybody ever wants to go, it's actually I think it's like $5. I usually get if anybody's a student, they hand them out at the Union the day of the game, free tickets. They're actually really fun. I will say that.
Now refresh me. They play off campus at the Jones Center. Is that correct?
In Springdale, so it is a bit of a drive. It's great for me because I'm from Springdale, but for a lot of people it can be hard. But yeah, it's out of the Jones Center.
Okay.
He says my daughter is on the ice now. Plays for Nashville Preds kids. Oh.
Well, that's cool.
Can I just be the first one to say that I didn't know Chris Shaw had a daughter? And I've known him for years. Chris, you got some splaining to do.
Well, I'm hoping that the introduction of a women's club team, because our men's club team is really good, I'm hoping that can eventually lead to 2 new sports scholarship-wise on campus. I'm hoping. And then we can get like an actual arena here. Hopefully. But we'll see.
So is it university backed or is it just a club for the students like the men's crew is?
It's going to be like the men's crew.
Okay. All right.
It's still university backed though. It's like a glorified intramurals. Like it's somewhere between intramurals and regular.
Got him.
All right. There's the hook.
So for those of you that don't know, I can go ahead and make this announcement now. Starting in 2024-2025, Sideline Radio Network will be bringing you 5 days of content. 5 days, 5 different shows of a variety of coverages, including us here at ITHP. And you got Sarah launching her women's podcast covering women's sports. You've also got a yet-to-be titled wrestling show bringing back home one Brandon Bumgarner and Nathan Wilson. I can actually officially announce that now that they both signed back on. And then we're going to have a recruiting show that is yet to be kind of figured out. And then one of my favorites that's going to be hosted by DMAD I'm looking forward to is a tailgating show. We've teamed up with one of our sponsors, Harris Made Chef Services, and they are going to go, and it's only during football season for this tailgating show. But each week they're going to go through different tips, different tricks, and different kind of food that you can have at a tailgate, and outside of just the normal burgers and brats. So be looking forward to that, all anchored by us, the dynamic duo.
Wait, so where are they going to be cooking this food at? Can they come to my tailgate and cook me some food? You know, like
that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah.
So all of the details on that are still being worked out, but that is what's to come in the 2024-2025 season, and we'll have more on that towards the end of the season here at ITHP. But MC, I've got to ask you: two new assistant coaches were signed today.
Yep.
What do you think?
Well, these guys have been with him at Kentucky. If you haven't seen it, Chin Coleman and Chuck Martin. They bring about 13 years. Let's see. No, Chin Coleman's got 13 years of coaching experience. He was with both these guys. Yeah,
the
different schools.
As long as I've been alive.
Yeah, that get out of my head, Sarah, because that's literally. I was going to ask if that was close because I knew you were born about that time. What it said on Chuck Martin.
99.
It was. It was rumored way back. Right after Cal made it, they made it official and everything that all of his staff was going to be coming with him. Well, Orlando Antigua ended up going to Illinois. But these are two guys that you brought in, and then you bring Kenny Payne back, which I think is the key. If you look at the last few years, Cal and Kentucky having those early tournament exits, there's one common denominator that was not there, and it was Kenny Payne as your top assistant. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this.
Later
who else
in the
is he
show,
missing from his former staff?
Ooh, I'll have to look that up. That's a good one. I would have to look at his staff.
I looked earlier and couldn't find. There was a name I was thinking of, and I couldn't find it because someone mentioned that he might be going somewhere else.
So later in the show, MC is going to try to convince me to join and drink the Kool-Aide because I'm not quite sold on John Calipari yet. He's going to try to convince me of that. Plus, he's going to try to debate and tell us why Arkansas is not a draft viable school. So y'all are going to want to
football. For football, let's specify that.
What sport? Let's specify what sport.
Yeah. Don't get the basketball heads on me, man, because Sam Jones and some of those other dudes will be jumping through the screen to get to me.
Hey, better you than me this week. Now, Oscar Martinez wants to know thought on Khalif Battle possibly staying. I thought he had already announced his new.
No, he put uncommitted under the photo, but no one wants to put that in their screenshots of his post. Anyways, I personally don't think he does. I personally think Cal cuts everybody that was on the team. Their attitudes last year were god awful. If you were ever in that terrible arena and could watch it, if I'm Cal and I've seen that, I ain't keeping it.
Well, I mean, why? Give me one reason why you would.
Why you would want anybody back?
Yeah.
I can't, because
exactly.
Why would you want anybody back from a team that finished below 500?
For me, the only one I would take back would be Battle. He's one that I saw less attitude from, and he dropped 40 on Cal's head. So,
but would he fit Cal's system?
But that's the thing is I don't know enough about what he's going to run with this new team to know that. Until the team's completely fit it, like, because there's some missing pieces still, like guard wise. I think that I would have to see who's coming in to see if Battle would even fit in that system.
DJ Wagner's better. Just saying.
Well, there you have it.
I'll take Wagner over Battle.
Real quick, we're going to touch on baseball. Baseball has their 27-game win streak at home broken this past weekend, and that's pretty good. That ties a program record.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
With today's win, they went undefeated in midweek games this year.
Yeah,
this is the last midweek. Now we've just got to wait 7 days now.
Oh, between games, it's 5, but whatever.
Oh, well.
5, 7.
Oh, we go to Kentucky this weekend. So
yeah,
that's gonna be rough, and that's what people are all up in a tizzy on Facebook about.
Why
the streak is broken? The streak is broken. We're an SEC school. We still won the series. I don't care about the streak. I honestly don't even care about series at this point. Only thing that matters is starting like end of May. At this point, I don't care.
Okay.
Well, selfishly, I want a good showing at Hoover for obvious reasons.
Well, yes.
Wait. I'm going to go.
May, isn't it?
May 21st.
Well,
That's the last week today.
The 20th. The 20th.
Yeah,
they'll do the
2 weeks.
Yeah. The selection show will be on Memorial Day.
Okay. I'm gonna. Okay. All right. I'm gonna get up on my high horse for a minute because it irks me. People will find let me phrase it. People in this fan base will find anything to bitch at.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Get off. Namaste. Shut up. Shut the hell up about bitching about the streak. Oh my God, it's broken. Okay, we only have 5 losses, y'all. 5. Okay?
Oh my God, we won by 6 today, and we're still complaining about batting averages.
Like, what is the deal?
I'm not saying he doesn't suck, but
there are some things that, well, first off, let me say this. it is easy to tell who the diehard baseball fans are and who the casual baseball fans are. Because diehard baseball fans could not care less about the 27-game home winning streak being snapped.
We care more about them playing the drop foul ball.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Oh, God. You got it now.
I bite my tongue.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead, MC.
No, I'll save that. I'll save that because that may be, that may have to be a separate rant because I'm telling you, I got hot last night.
Way to go, Sarah. Piss him off. Go ahead.
Ooh, boy, did I get hot last night. This old man don't get that hot very often, but I got hot over that.
I'm really glad I watch it live, not on TV. I'll say that.
Well, and I think even is it Troy Eklund and the other guy that does the SEC
Brett
Plus
Dolan.
broadcast, Brett Dolan. Thank you.
Right. I was gonna say it's a B.
I think they were even caught by surprise by that because they were kind of making that awkward, uncomfortable joke after it played. And
why did they play it? There was no rhyme or reason, and it was 5
It's because Helfrich dropped that ball like right by home plate because it was like right
and
after that happened.
And it wasn't even down the first base line.
It wasn't even down.
It was just a dropped foul ball, which
right.
I mean, honestly, a catcher dropping a foul ball is a lot different than a person in the field dropping a.
It is.
I'm with Chris Ferracci on this one. Douchebag move.
But my thing is, I truly want to. Which I asked the girl that was out there, like with the little camera filming the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I asked her who's in the booth, like who's running that, because they also posted a few weeks ago a TikTok of the guy talking about flipping cameras. So I wonder if it was that guy, and I want to go find his TikTok and message him and be like, "What did you play? Why did you?"
So okay, if y'all know my background, I did 20 plus years live sports coverage. More than likely, that call came from the producer rather than the director. So that TikTok you're speaking of is the director talking about take camera 3 now, take camera 4, ready 5, go 5. That's your technical director. Your producer is usually the one that calls for, at least in my experience, the producer is the one that calls for replays or cutaway shots that are pre-recorded content. So to me, it would have been the producer that would have been in that role saying, "Hey, do we have the foul ball?" And then the director, it's kind of on him to have to take it.
I'm thinking that's probably not a student.
I don't know.
Somebody's got a vendetta out against
some of these crews. It depends. Like I know over at Arkansas State, it is. I would say 90% student ran
on our air.
So, well, I'm just telling you what I know. I'm using what I know as my example.
No,
well, so I know that a lot of like the camera run stuff, and then like the guy that posted is all students, but a lot of the other ones are interns. So there's a student like in classwork, there's an intern, and then there's like a teacher adult.
Right.
We'll call them adults, kind of above them. So I don't know where they all sit.
I mean, I will say this: the TikTok that they showed the other day of the behind the scenes thing, that dude was rolling with his directing.
I think he's an intern, is what the girl was telling us last night. So he
was doing a good job.
He already did the student level, and now he's like.
Well, I mean, in any case, they shouldn't have shown it because it's.
I mean,
so
y'all go check my Twitter if you want to see how ridiculously hot I got over that.
I just don't get. I don't get why it keeps getting brought up like 6 years later.
Because that it cost us the national title.
Okay, that was 6 years ago.
But
it's kind of like our version of the Chris Webber timeout.
Yeah.
Can we at least retire when DVH retires? Like, when is the time like up on this video?
I mean, to me, it was like 5 years, but I guarantee you, when this team gets to Omaha this year, ESPN will play it again.
Oh, they're gonna replay it
until we win a title. They're gonna play that every time we're in Omaha.
Especially if we get to that final series, they are going to play the hell out of that clip over and over and over and over again.
But they won't play the clip with Florida dropping 2 of them this weekend.
No, it doesn't matter.
Well, Auburn dropping 1 3 weeks ago. Though
it doesn't matter. It was ours was in Omaha when it mattered the most.
I digress.
So.
But do y'all still physically cringe when a ball gets hit over into that area in a game that you're watching? Because I do. I physically cringe.
Yeah.
Daddy's over there. I feel protected.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. All right,
man.
we're going to step away for a quick break. On the other side of the break, it is our first debate night of the season, and MC's going to kick it up a notch. Let's just put it like that. You're listening to Inside the Hawg Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Back right after this.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Marcus, MC, Carlton, and Savage Sarah Vogel hanging out with you. I'm Razorback Zach, as always, from the Central Arkansas Hawg Pen. All right, MC, you and I had a discussion earlier this week about draft, the pro draft, because the NFL draft was this past week, and we only had two players drafted in the 6th round. Like 5 picks apart, and Cam Little and Bo Limmer, which kind of led to this debate topic as to Arkansas is not one of the schools you think about when you think of the NFL draft.
No, it's certainly not, and it's not just from the Razorback perspective. It's also about this. Also ties directly into high school football. I'm trying to look through my bookmarks here on Twitter because
while you're looking at that, while you're looking for that,
we got to address that. Go for it.
Mama Linda's in the house. She says, "Hi, ITHP. So sorry I've been missing. A little under the weather lately. Hey, I hope all is well, Mama Linda. And I know Casey's watching as well. So we now have all 3 of our top fans and that are in the Hall of Fame, if there really was a Hall of Fame, in the building tonight." But MC, the reason this kind of interested me from a football standpoint is everybody knows I got to tour Razorback Stadium a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And deep in the heart of the training facility and the team meeting rooms and everything is this giant draft wall where all 32 teams of the NFL have every, they're all listed, but they have every player from Arkansas that has ever been drafted to the NFL to those respective teams. I pissed off a lot of people when I said, that's all good and well, but name me those that, outside of Steve Atwater, who's an NFL Hall of Famer, name me somebody that actually had a successful career and sustained it. I know you've got Jason Peters, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Steve Atwater.
Yeah.
But who else?
No one since I've been alive.
There's not anybody recently.
Burrowsworth would have done well. Burrowsworth would have done well.
Jerry Jacobs is still playing. He's with.
Isn't there the lineman? Who's with the Lions?
Frank Ragnow.
Ragnow and Skinner.
Yes, Skinner's who I was thinking of.
Here's the thing, though, is every so often you do have that somebody that makes an impact in the NFL from the University of Arkansas. I don't count Jerry Jacobs because he quit.
Fair.
Sorry, that's just
fair.
He quit. But every so often, like Darren McFadden, all right, hell of a running back, couldn't make it in the NFL.
Yeah, he was in a bad situation too out in Oakland.
Felix Jones, same thing. Dynamic.
So our producer D-Mad's kind of helping us out here with some guys that are currently.
But like you're talking about sustainable, and that man ain't been sustained.
I'm talking sustainability.
Hunter Henry.
Hunter. Again, generational player. Okay.
Is he with the Patriots?
Yeah.
The one that's with the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, I actually know football. I'm proud of myself.
Okay, but MC, there's not a player every year from the University of Arkansas that we can look at on the field and go, he is a high draft pick. He's going to make it in the NFL. Not like an Alabama or a Georgia or
even
LSU.
I mean, honestly, at this point, even an Ole Miss. As much as I hate to admit that,
you've got Ragnow, you've got Peyton, Hunter Henry, you've got Dre Greenlaw, you had Darius Philo there for a little while.
Yeah, Brandon Allen is still in the league, but he's not an impact guy.
I'm talking impact player.
Yeah.
My question is, oh gosh, Nudie, I can't remember his real name.
McLaughlin.
Dwight McLaughlin.
He was the highest ranked guy in his position in the SEC, from what I remember reading.
Yes, no, that's correct.
He didn't get drafted. So my question is, if he's ranked so high, why is he not getting drafted? Because I don't know enough about. That's a genuine
I want to say he was an undrafted free agent to the Minnesota Vikings.
I think that's right. Yeah.
But that was my question: is like, if he's so ranked high, like, what does that ranking matter if they're not getting drafted?
So, I'm looking at some of these names that D-Mad's putting in our little private chat that we had, and some of these guys, Peyton Hillis. Hillis was on the cover of Madden, so I mean he had a good career.
Madden Curse.
Madden Curse could be. Burks to be determined. He is not developed into what we thought he was going to be at this point.
Exactly.
He's more worried about making money and babies than making touchdowns.
So he's making a point that McFadden played 10 seasons. Okay. But what did he do in those 10 seasons?
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to say he had a good career. I mean, he got the pension. That's what you're shooting for, honestly, from that perspective, is to get the money. So he's in. He played for a Raiders team that had me and Zach on the offensive line, basically, which means he didn't have an offensive line. He wishes he had the crappy offensive line that Barry Sanders had at Detroit. So
Paul Anthony says, "What's up? What's up, Paul? Paul's a good friend of mine.
Yeah,
been a fan of our show for a while. Brett Good had an impact.
It's the picture for me. It's the profile. It gets me every time. I
can't. Out that profile picture, man.
Paul, do me a favor, dude, and inbox me that image. I've got a good use for that.
That's oh my god, I can't even take a drink right now.
Dan Hampton, good friend of my dad's, 1979, Lance Allworth.
The Bears. And again, but
how
long ago were these dudes playing?
They're older. They played before I was born. If they have not played in the last 25 years, they're irrelevant.
I understand that. And what I'm talking about is recent history.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. The old ones are irrelevant.
Anything from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and hell, I'll even go 80s.
Well, you can go 90s too, because that's 30 years ago.
And go 90s. I'm talking from the year 2000 to now. 24 years. We do not have one player.
Here's me looking for the draft picks.
Well, that's all I'm saying.
And I'll go a step further. Because my main point that I was going to make on this was more tied to guys who went to high school in the state. And so the argument that I was going to make was, when we say, is Arkansas a viable draft-worthy school, I'm more looking at it from, why would Arkansas want to heavily recruit the home state? Okay. If we want to be competitive in the SEC, which is the meat grinder, it is the elite, the best of the best. And there was not a single draft pick from any school that is a native Arkansan. That means they graduated high school in Arkansas. Okay. There were zero guys.
I couldn't, when I looked at that graphic, I wasn't sure if that was from high school or from college. But
it's from high school. Yeah, that's high school kids. And even the few that go out of state.
That SHS 2005 team, who was on there?
Well, no, this is just from this year. From this year.
Oh,
Yeah, this is
okay.
Just from this draft.
You talking about the Springdale 5?
Yeah.
Oh, let me see, who was that? That was
who got drafted out of that class?
That's what I was trying to see.
Was it Williams?
There's a whole book about it. I just can't think of names.
Oh yeah,
right
because Mustaine, Williams, Webb, Norman, and Ben Cleveland were the 5.
Yeah.
Look at that. Useless knowledge. I can't remember why I get sent to the grocery store, but I can tell you the Springdale 5.
So our rookie
Ben
in
Cleveland, Bartley Webb.
Yeah, our rookie that's helping out our producer tonight, Jesse. He says Mississippi has a lower population, but outperforms us with players drafted year after year.
Mississippi. If you've never watched Mississippi high school football, if all you've ever seen is Arkansas, go down to South Haven or down, honestly, around from where KJ's from, down close to Oxford. Go watch South Panola. Go watch some of those guys. It's a different world, man. My question is,
I want to see our like football to basketball numbers, because even in basketball,
there's no comparison.
There's no comparison.
There's no comparison because.
But even then, we're lower than a lot of other states. Like, I want to see, like.
But there is elite basketball talent in the state. That's the thing, because I looked at drafts for the NBA going back to 2015. And it's an average of about one guy a year that is a native Arkansan. So you go back to you've got Bobby Portis, you've got Malik Monk, you've got Nick Smith, you've got who am I missing? There was 3 or 4 more, and I don't have my notes with me because I came in here screaming on 2 wheels about 2 minutes before we went on air. But there was, from 2015 to 2023, there was an average of about one guy per year. And now you got to put this in perspective too, because the NBA draft is only 2 rounds and 52 picks, whereas the NFL draft is 7 rounds, 300 and something.
That's kind of what I was wanting to see. Like, I wanted basketball picks divided by like team size or something, compared
by available picks or whatever. Yeah, there's a formula there you could do, and it's going to show that basketball is a heck of a lot higher than football is. So it's I've been screaming for a while that Arkansas is a basketball state, and I just think this kind of adds fuel to that fire. But everybody always talks about when there is a kid like the quarterback, the white kid that went to Auburn that was a quarterback, Walker White, I think was his name. A lot of people threw fits that Arkansas couldn't land him. But if you look at the numbers over the last few years, Arkansas kids, the native Arkansas kids are not faring as well in football as they did, let's say, 15, 20 years ago.
There's also that kid from Greenwood,
Archer.
Kane Archer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be a junior this year.
Yeah, he's a junior this year. But here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you why they're not faring as well. The cheddar.
Well, I mean, it could be.
Think about it. You got to. Okay. All right. Let me. And again, I may butcher this, but go with me here, MC, because you've got a pretty good deal. Let's say Darren McFadden is playing in this era of college football with the NIL. God. Okay. He's not coming to Arkansas unless he wants to wear the Arkansas jersey, unless he wants to go to Arkansas. He's not going.
I'm hoping that's changing with Chicken Man.
See, I think McFadden is the one exception, because when he would do like this, what did you see on his arm? Y'all remember when he would flex after a touchdown?
Wasn't it like 479 or something?
501
479. Yeah, 501. Because
501 boy. He's from Little Rock, man. He is. I would consider him one of the last big elite level guys that just wanted to put on for his home state. Now it's all about the name on the back, not the name on the front.
My thing is.
I'm going to add this graphic because apparently DMAD said you needed it.
Yeah, he texted me on it. So this is the graphic that I was talking about. States that have produced the most draft picks, and I'm gonna blow this up full screen so I can see it. So Arkansas has 18.
So this one's the last 10 years. So
this one's the last 10 years. Yeah, the one that I saw was this year's draft, but this one is even better because if you look at Mississippi by comparison. Smaller population than us, but they've had 54 draft picks over the last 10 years. Arkansas has had 18. So there's not a comparison there. Now, what is it about Mississippi that the football is so much better there? You got the same similar populations. I won't say the exact same. Similar populations. Is it just that they put more focus on football? Yes. Are they just, are they breeding better athletes? I mean, what's the deal?
For me, I know that this is going to make me sound really bad, but a lot of the really good players in football, when I was in high school, and I'm talking about Little Rock up here, down south, the ones that I knew that were good, they didn't make it to high school graduation. Kyler Williams didn't make it through his junior year. And I'm not saying anything against Kyler because his was a car accident, but others were gang violence, stupidity, being a teenager, and they didn't make it. Especially in Little Rock, I know a lot of kids that didn't make it to graduation.
Yeah,
for different reasons. So that's the thing, is getting them through high school and out of that area.
I covered high school ball for a long time, so I tried to keep up with more than just NEA as far as in the state. And I think what you've seen with the downfall of the schools in Central Arkansas, because you had Central, you had Pulaski Oak Grove, you had Jacksonville was good. You had all these schools. All right, well, you've lost Pulaski Oak Grove. Now you have Little Rock Southwest, which is a couple of the schools that combined. And you have everybody flocking out of Central, and everybody's going to Bryant. Bryant's been the machine. They've been the machine, but for whatever reason, when everybody gets there, they're good. Don't get me wrong. By Arkansas standards, they are elite, but it's just not translating to the next level. Now, Braylon Edwards he's different. That dude's just different. He's going to be a stud. But where Arkansas high schools will produce one stud that goes to SEC level, Mississippi and Louisiana are producing 6, 7, 8 guys. Mm-hmm. And I just don't, especially with the state of Mississippi, I don't understand the difference.
Because the thing is, our school size is bigger than most Mississippi schools. Mm-hmm. So in theory, we should have more talent, but that's not how it is. But
that's not how it's working. And it's, I see some comments over here that are giving potential reason. I think those are all good. I don't know what it is. I mean, is Arkansas really that much more of a basketball state?
Well, Jesse says, good point, Sarah. I think part of recruiting is permissible, if permissible, should be sending a mentor out to help keep these young men and women on track to have a chance to be successful in life.
And I will say, because I don't know if she ever watches this show, and if she ever did, I'd probably be mortified. But that is one thing my high school basketball coach did I'm going to use my cuss word, damn good job of. Because if you want evidence, she just got drafted first round of the WNBA draft. Mm-hmm. She came from a little small town out of McGee. When she came up to Springdale, when I tell you that girl, she was not book smart.
Well, I wasn't. Oh, she froze.
She froze.
So,
man, she's making a hell of a point, and she froze.
A hell of a point and froze. Gotta love that NWA.
I'm just saying, I had the best coach in high school sports. That woman, especially, we lost somebody in our sports family at Springdale every single year of high school, including Kyler Williams. And if you're from NWA, you knew that hit all of NWA really hard. Mm-hmm. We lost one of our own players. My senior year, we lost a girl I played my sophomore year with. That woman helped us get through everything and anything. And that's one thing some coaches don't want to do. They don't care about your life off the field. They don't care about what you do. They don't care about the classroom. They just care about what you produce on the field. And if it's not good enough, you sit the bench if they don't give a shit.
Okay, so we're going to let Sarah take a break.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
And breathe.
I don't disagree with anything you said.
Too many bad coaches up here that I'm witnessing. And it's also them allowing their high school kids to announce they're transferring schools. If y'all want to know one thing that pisses me off, don't announce you're transferring high schools.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. We could do a whole show on that because that is a growing problem, and honestly, it stems from the whole portal NIL stuff.
Yeah. All right, so we are going to move on to our last topic of the night, and this is going to be a fun one because MC gets to convince me to drink the Kool-Aide and buy into Coach Cal. Can he succeed, or will I put up one hell of a fight? But before we do, we got to pay a bill. So on the other side of the break, MC, you better get ready, dude.
I'm ready, son. I'm ready.
Coming with it. You're listening to Inside the Hawg Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Back right after this.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. All right, MC. Let's go, man. All right. Can MC convince me to drink the Kool-Aide and buy into Coach Cal? MC, I'm going to tell you this. I'm not 100% sold on Coach Cal yet.
Okay. What are your reservations?
Well, look at what he's done. Look at what he's done at Kentucky since 2012. 2012 was the year he won the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Outside of that, he hasn't really done much. He had a Final Four in, I think, 2015. But outside of, that was what? Almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking at his stat sheet right now. The last Final Four was 2015.
Yeah.
Correct.
Last Final Four was 2015. But what has he done since? That's a decade. Okay? It's a decade. And they're supposed to be one of the blue bloods of college basketball.
Yes.
Okay? They're supposed to be one of the blue bloods of tier 1 blue blood of college basketball. I get it. He's a Hall of Fame coach. Okay? I get that. I understand that.
Yep.
But what makes you so sure that he's going to succeed here at Arkansas?
Well, to start with, I'm not going to go over his whole resume, but let's just go with this. The guy knows the SEC. Okay, obviously, spent 15 years at the program in the SEC.
And he's only won what? One title?
No, he's got, let's see. He finished second this year in the SEC behind Tennessee. And this was honestly a pretty below the standard of what Kentucky likes to see. I'm looking for his SEC. Okay, so he's got six. He has 6 regular season championships and 6 SEC tournament championships at Kentucky. The most recent tournament championship is 6 years ago, 2018.
When was his last conference? I don't care about tournament. I want
the regular season conference championship was 2020.
Okay. That's all good and well.
Right.
Okay. And the old regime kind of spoiled us because we had 20 plus. Hold on, Sarah. I can see where you had 20 years of first round but blown out, headed back home in the tournament. Okay. And consequently, every time we got to the tournament under, Mike Anderson, it was always against North Carolina in the second round.
Yeah. We couldn't shake that. Yeah.
Okay. Eric Musselman comes in, and all of a sudden, there's Elite 8 banners going up. There's Sweet 16s. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You're getting some recruits under Musselman that you probably wouldn't have got otherwise.
You are.
Fair.
You are. And then, and I'm going to say this, he threw last year. Okay, Muss threw last year.
I would agree. Yeah.
I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Muss
He
tapped
out in December.
Fair. Shit. He tapped out earlier than that. You can't convince me otherwise. But what is it about Calipari, or as my mother calls him, Coach Squid, that
I've used that too.
because we got so hyped when Muss got here.
Right. Yeah.
And he couldn't get over the Final Four hump. No, I'm sorry. He couldn't get over the Elite Eight hump.
Elite Eight hump. Yeah.
I know this is you and MC arguing.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Jump in.
My point is, when Muss got here, people were excited. I feel like just to have a new coach. It wasn't like he didn't have a resume for me.
Right.
Like when he got here, like I don't remember everybody freaking out. But for me, Cal came with a resume, and in the last 3 days, that man's proven his point. Because just in the last 2 or 3 guys have all been ranked top 25 of their class at least.
Again.
And proven that they're that ranking.
Again, when you look at I'm going to tell you this right now. The star system is antiquated. It's outdated, okay? Because you can have a 5-star coming out of Kentucky, but you have that same kind of player come out of Arkansas at the high school level, and he's just a 3-star.
I was thinking of transfers. I wasn't even looking at the high schools.
Okay, all right.
Guys. I think the last 3 have all been transfers, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least the last 2 have.
Right.
I know
Adu and Davis.
The high school star ranking is very convoluted and
Well, again, but at the same time, you can have, and we have seen it, not necessarily in basketball, but you have seen where you can have all the talent in the world and fall flat on your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can. Yes.
So what makes Cal so different?
So if you look at the last 4 to 5 or so years, let me pull his record back up here at Kentucky. The last few years when Kentucky has had those early tournament exits, okay? So you had this year, they got knocked out in the first round. 22-23 season, the second round. 21-22, the first round. They did not make it in the 2021 season. That's 4 seasons.
That's my point. Okay.
Okay. Now, hang on. There was a key missing piece to his staff.
KP.
That was not with him, that is back with him now. So first off, you get Kenny Payne back.
Okay. Second
off, you sometimes, and I experienced this when I changed jobs about 1.5 years ago. You get into a rut, so to speak, of just doing the same thing over and over and over because it's a comfort zone. You've been doing it. Sometimes when you get a change of scenery and you get everything new around you, you get people telling you how great you are again, instead of constantly being dogged and being down, you get a little rejuvenated. You get that fire back that may have been dimming on you a little bit. And you start thinking about, okay, all these people think I'm washed. Okay. All right. Y'all hold this beer. Watch what I'm about to do.
I don't think he's actually washed. I
don't think so either. But Kentucky fans have been saying for the last few years that the game has passed him by, blah, 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 blah. I'll say this. In the last 2 weeks, Arkansas has been talked about more than they have in 30 years because of Calipari.
We were the top.
Other than when we beat Kansas. When we beat Kansas, we were talked about.
Yeah. And that's the one instance that I can compare it to when we upset Kansas, because even when we upset Gonzaga, it wasn't that big of an upset because we were a 4 seed, they were a 1. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
An 8 beating a 1 is a big deal, especially when it's the defending national champion. But even with as much talk as we got on that, I still feel like this is more because that was for about a 48-hour period until we ran into UConn and just got hammered. This has been going on since Cal got hired, and it's not showing any signs of slowing down. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got the Kentucky sports radio dudes acting like the psychotic, jilted ex-girlfriend.
And he's sad that he threw out the first pitch at a baseball game. And I'm not going to tell you, that man threw the best pitch I've ever seen.
that was a damn good pitch.
He had a strike, man. That was a solid strike. So
I mean, wind up from the stretch, I'm game.
But here's some of the and I don't know that everybody knows this, but I was reading this on Twitter the other day about Calipari. That whole thing about him throwing out the first pitch. When they approached him about it, you know what the first thing was he did? He went to Dave Van Horn and said, "Hey, coach, are you good with this? Because I don't want to be a distraction from your team. This is a conference game. This is a big game. I don't want to be a distraction. Are you cool with it?" That's game recognizing game right there. That is respect that, you know, I'm not going to say Muss didn't have it, but there were some rumblings that maybe Dave and Muss were not as tight as they once were.
I don't think Muss ever threw the first pitch.
I don't remember Muss ever throwing a first pitch. I remember him showing up at some games.
Muss and Pitt never threw out first pitches.
But I mean, I think not only, you know, and the joke has been, Calipari University bringing the you know, that whole thing. Arkansas is in on recruits now that they have not been in on since the heyday of Nolan.
When we were
top 5 every year.
At that game, Cal showed up with one of his recruits.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big mother trucker.
Yeah.
He was big. I don't remember who. Well,
I think it was one of the freshmen.
I leave them alone. Like, you know, when I'm at games, I don't. But I was like, holy.
But I really think here's why I think it's going to be different here, and here's why I think you need to jump on, because Cal, he's got the pedigree, he's got the resume. Okay, something that maybe not everybody knows. If he can make a Final Four here, he has a chance to make history. He will be the first coach in the history of college basketball to take 4 different schools to the Final Four.
Kentucky.
Nobody has taken 4 schools. So he's got 3 right now. He's got UMass, he's got Memphis, and he's got Kentucky. If he gets that 4th one, that's history. Nobody has ever done that. You don't think that's a motivating factor for him to come in here and just light the world on fire, and then pile that on top of the last 3 years of them not making of his teams not making it out of the first weekend of the tournament? So I think we're getting a highly motivated Calipari. I think we're going to get the Calipari of before Kentucky. I think we're going to get the Memphis Calipari. And if we get the Memphis Calipari, son, buckle them straps up tight, because this is going to be one heck of a ride that we're about to go on.
For me, it's also, you got Calipari, Kenny, and then in your recruiting seat, you got Ronnie Brewer, all Arkansas.
So it's looking like Brewer is together.
I didn't even need to see the assistants. I saw those 3. I'm good.
Well, and it's still being rumored out there that Joe Johnson is going to have a slot on this staff.
I keep hearing that.
All right. So you think about that. You think about let's look past this recruiting class, because I think he's done with the freshmen. I think everything else goes through the portal. Let's look to next year. Let's look to the class of 25 when Carlos Boozer's twins are out there.
I was like, there's a good one from NWA too.
Yes, there is.
Jesse, go ahead. Jesse says Cal is making his way around the campus and interacting with fans of other sports. He has been to softball and baseball now. Don't recall Muss doing anything like that. Only Danielle. Muss has been to a couple of football games, because I've seen him there myself and interacted with him myself. But there's another quote. There's another couple of comments down here in the Hog Wild Live fan feedback that I want to get to. Dan Yoakum says, "Don't forget about Eddie Sutton taking 4 schools to the Final Four."
Eddie took 3. I looked it up.
Eddie took 3. Who's the one he didn't take?
Creighton, his first one.
Now, Charlie Ward is. I want to say this: would have rather had Beard or seen what Muss could do with the same NIL. Here's the problem: Muss wasn't going to get the NIL that Calipari has.
Right.
Muss was not going to get anywhere close to the NIL money that Calipari's got now. And Chris Beard wouldn't leave it Ole Miss. Sorry, MC, wasn't happening.
I want to say this in the nicest way possible without like dogging people. But for me, Muss wouldn't have used it the same that Calipari used it either. Muss was going to invest in himself and the people he really cared about, where Calipari is going to pretty much share the love and doesn't care what he gets For the most, I know he wants to get paid, but for the most part, a lot of that money is going to go towards the recruits and other players coming in. It's not going to go towards him. Where Muss would have kept a check of that for himself, and he would have been cool. He seemed like a very money-hungry guy, and if you were interacting with anybody else, everybody else will say that too.
Well, our producer D-Mad says if Muss went to a game, he made sure he was on TV because it was always about Muss and no one else. And unfortunately, the guy, he's a nice guy, but he's got a little bit of an inflated ego now.
He is a marketing machine. I mean, he is about marketing Muss. Now, Calipari is also a marketing machine. He's about marketing the brand, but he does it. He has a different method from that. You're not going to see Calipari going out and making all the different social media videos and stuff that I'm sorry. You won't see Cal making the social media videos that Muss was making, where he's out, on the bus with Hunter Yurchek, or he's riding a golf cart around, to the frat houses and stuff and taking them pizza and stuff like that. You're not going to see
Cal will do that. He was on campus the other day handing out pizza.
Well, he may do it, but I don't know that he will make sure that there's a video of it, and it's not going to be look at me.
He was on the cart with some players and stopped by. It was Friday. Yeah, Friday when I was on campus.
Well,
that's before the baseball game.
MC, Mama Linda wants to know how much money has this recruiting cost?
A very fraction of what the team will make us when they win an Natty.
That's fair. I don't really know. I mean, we saw, when Calipari was hired, we saw the promise of upwards of $5 to $7 million in strictly for NIL. I don't know that we will get a true number on what that's going to be, but the other thing where I think Calipari is going to be better with this NIL money than Muss would have been, Cal and Mr. Tyson, aka Chicken Man, they're tight. Like they are buddies. Okay.
I didn't realize how tight they were. Like
I
knew
didn't
they
either.
Were close, but I didn't realize.
Right. I knew there was a relationship where, but I didn't realize that it was one where they're tight.
Sarah,
so yeah, you're buffering a little bit, Sarah.
Check your internet out.
I can't check it. It's been a piece of crap all week. It's fine.
So MC, here's my other point is that I get it. He doesn't have a team. Well, he didn't have a team, and he's putting one together. And I said this 2 weeks ago. Are they going to be ready to go by season start? And I get it. Everybody's fixing to come at me. It ain't how you start. It's how you finish. That's how you look in March, not in November. But we all have to remember that this fan base is going to start eating itself if he doesn't make a good showing in the non-conference before December.
If we don't go 19-0 in non-conference, this fan base is going to cannibalize itself because that's what it always does.
I give him 3 years for a Final Four before I complain.
See, I think next year is when you have to actually start judging him.
I'm going to judge. I'm just saying, if that third year we haven't made Elite Eight Final Four, that's when I'm like, okay, is he really
right? No, I think that's fair. So what are your expectations for next year? Would Sweet 16?
I'm hoping we at least make the tournament, but my true hope is Sweet 16.
Yeah.
And Zach, then I'm hoping Elite Eight, then Final Four.
If he can keep some of these guys that have eligibility, if he can keep them, then why not win the whole damn thing?
Boy, I mean, is that your expectation?
No. I'm asking a generalized question because that's what everybody's going to be expecting.
I mean,
okay.
I'd
be okay with a Sweet 16. If he goes to the Elite Eight, I'm sold. If he goes,
I'm honestly okay with winning the conference too. Like if we win the conference, that's a good thing for me too.
Yep.
If he even makes the tournament this year, it's a win.
With the roster he's putting together, I'm not sure that me and you and Sarah couldn't get them to the tournament.
But it's different, okay? You can get to the tournament and then crap the bed. We've seen it happen.
A little birdie told me there might be walk-on women's tryouts.
Sarah got eligibility left. So
if you can't try out for kicker, what makes you think you're going to try out for the women's team?
Because I played college or high school basketball and college basketball. I couldn't try out for football because I didn't play high school football.
I mean, that's a whole different story for another time. But MC, seriously,
yeah.
At what point are we going to be chomping? I mean, we're chomping at the bit now for a national title.
Right.
What's going to happen?
I think that clock slows down a little bit with a coaching change. Now it's Calipari, and you're seeing a lot of hype around this roster that he's building. I've even seen a couple of the basketball accounts that I follow on Twitter, like national guys, already talking about, say, hey, if Cal finishes out this roster with this guy, and this guy, Arkansas is a Final Four candidate next year. I'm not ready to go there.
Screw sidetrack, but some of the guys that are saying they're going to come visit at games.
Yeah. I mean, you've got all these NBA guys talking about, I mean, and I know one of these is going to make Zach
talking about Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Yeah. Drake is talking about, yes. Yeah. So you've got the publicity out there. The fact that there's already as many 5 stars signed, sealed, and delivered as what we've had in the past 15, 20 years.
Again, that's all good and well, but can they play together?
Well, that's where the $8 million a year comes in.
Or are we gonna have the same thing we've had for 5 or 10 years now, where we, coast through non-conference, and then we hit a team that we're supposed to beat in the non-conference, like a UNC Greensboro, and start stumbling, okay? And then you go 0-4 in the SEC to start out, and it's the end of January or the early February, or hell, even mid-February, before we pick up steam and things start to fall into place. And again, I get it. You start, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish.
But you've got to have some consistency through there. You can't have the season do like this. Okay. You want it more of a steady incline. And then when you get to late February, early March, that's when you hit the turbo boosters. But I will flat out, I'm Babe Ruth here. I'm calling my shot. You will not see this Arkansas team start 0-5, 1-6, 1-7 in SEC play this year.
I don't see us
will not happen.
I don't see us losing 2 or 3 in a row either. Like 2 possibly, but based on the schedule, I was looking at the schedule yesterday or the day before, and based on the lineup and what I've seen other teams have, I don't see us losing 2 or 3 in a row. Like when we started SEC the last couple years, we
said that last year.
3 or 4.
MC said it. MC and I both said it last year.
Yeah, I said it.
MC and I both said it last year.
After the red-white game, I told y'all we aren't that good. If they can't guard Joey P, we suck.
Yep, you did, and I thought you were being overly harsh over what you saw at the red-white game.
I thought
that's when you knew Sarah had IQ.
Well, don't push it.
I will say that's what I was like. Okay, all right, I see you, girl. You know your stuff here.
I just knew when Joey P was the highest scorer and like some of the defense.
That should have been a red flag.
That should have been a red flag right there. Yeah, and but again. For me personally, I'm not. Y'all know this. I'm the football guru, not the basketball guy. That's why I have MC here. Okay, among other reasons. But it's kind of for me. It's kind of a wait and see type thing. Okay, I'm not that he's a bad dude, but he looks like a mobster.
He does have the mobster look.
He looks like a mobster.
He does.
Okay.
Are you talking about is it because he's Italian?
No, it just.
Well, that certainly helps with the mobster.
That helps. But if you look at him and you didn't know that was John Calipari, head basketball.
That's the Godfather.
Okay. If you didn't know college basketball and you didn't know who he was, which you're gonna have to be living under a freaking rock to figure that out.
Right.
You'd honestly think he's part of the Italian mob.
I mean, I could see, yeah. I mean, he's got some Michael Corleone vibes.
He walks around in a suit, maybe, but he wears normal clothes.
He looks. I mean, take one look at him, and you want to look at him and go, "Take the gun, leave the cannoli."
He gives the Michael Corleone vibes.
Okay,
yes,
I mean, come on. But
all I can think of is John Wick right now for some reason. Every time I look at him now.
Here's the thing: going into 2024, 2025, I will keep an open mind. You've kind of sold me.
Yeah.
On it. I'm not there yet.
If you can still like our football team, you can like basketball. Come on.
Look, the football team and I have a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
it's complicated, huh?
It's kind of like my. You know what? Never mind. I'm not going to say what I think.
So okay. So what do y'all think on this comment? I'm completely diverting away from Zach. I'm getting away from that right now. Baxter makes this.
Kick me to the curb. Why don't you?
Shut up, Marcus.
No, now you gotta say it. Come on with it. Come on with it. Let's go.
I'm just gonna say, well, it wouldn't be the first time that's happened to you. So
No, it wouldn't.
25 and 12.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Would you take a 25 and 12 record this year?
Wait, we're just gonna bypass your comment first?
Yes, we are. Yeah,
I'll take anything over 50%.
I'll take 25 and 12.
25 and 12. Let's say Sweet 16, 25 and 12.
My question is, who are the 12 you pick us losing to? Because I can't count 12 teams I'd lose to.
12 might be a little much, but I don't know. I also don't know what kind of tournaments we've got coming up. Like, are we back at Maui this year?
When does all that get announced?
No, we're going to. Well, no, that's the year after next. I think that we're going to.
Are we in Vegas this year? Is this the Vegas thing?
This is the Vegas one.
Next year we go back to.
That's right.
Hawaii.
We go back to Hawaii next year. That's right.
This is the Vegas one with with not the NIL one, but the other one, the showcase.
Let's say we lose 3 preseason games. I don't see us losing 9 SEC games.
No, probably not.
Which
I got a comment.
There's no official schedule out.
I gotta throw this up because this is a really great point from Mama Linda. Red flag. We had lots of talent last year, and they wouldn't play as a team. Hopefully, this group can play as a team. Not every player wanting to be the star. We had a big issue with that last year. Now,
and that's what I'm concerned about with all these 5 stars and all these big names and highly touted recruits coming in. That's what I'm worried about.
And I think that's a fair concern.
To say that every person that we recruited last year, I said, "Who's that? What is that?" Like I never was the people we're recruiting. There's, look at what he did at Tennessee last season. Look at what he did at that school last season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like the other ones, like they're like, "Oh, this guy's from Louisville," and I'm like, "And this guy's from Temple."
Well,
and,
again,
I was not impressed.
It's also said too that each one of these guys was the guy carrying that team the year he was there.
Yep.
Okay. So that's what they were used to. And I'm not defending them by any means at all.
No, but that is a valid point.
But you're trying to tell me that with as much talent and as much potential we had on that team this past season, that this was the best we can do. We went to the Elite 8, not taking anything away from Justin Smith, Jalen Tate, JD Note, or any of that. Less talented teams going to the Elite 8, and you couldn't do any. I mean, you couldn't even make the tournament.
I will argue.
That team did was put their ego aside.
Exactly.
They played as a team.
That's my point.
And you can see it with the Thunder and Jay Will. They love each other.
Even
though some of them beef off the court. Some of y'all might know that. Some of them beef off the court, but on that court, you don't notice. Post-game interviews, you don't notice. With that team, they put their ego aside. This team this year could not a single one of them could put their ego aside and say, "You're my teammate. We're going to have a good game today."
No,
and that is the problem with college and high school athletics today.
No, they were too busy. Shut up, Zach.
Please.
Well, and you had Jesse's comment up here. I'm going to throw it back up.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think leadership is much better top to bottom on the staff this year. For what, especially if for nothing else, this coaching staff is not going to tap out in December. Okay, I mean we're all in agreement that Muss tapped out, but by Christmas. Fair.
Before
when he went on that losing streak, starting with UNC Greensboro, and just couldn't recover, that was it. He was done.
Bye.
Their last hoorah was beating Duke, and it was the only reason they all got hyped up for that game was because it was Duke.
And it was the 30th anniversary of
Duke and Purdue were the only 2 games they showed up to, and that's because they knew that place was packed. And Muss probably said, "If you make me look stupid, I'm gonna make y'all look stupid."
Okay,
Facts.
What about whoa. Okay, that's all good and well. But what about Kentucky? Or which game was it that game day was here?
Kentucky. It was Kentucky.
What about Kentucky? Why didn't they have that same
point?
intensity?
I think it was too late in the season, and everybody had tapped.
True.
I was surprised we got game day. I don't know why we got game day.
I don't know why we got game day.
I don't know why we got it either.
There's a tweet out there that said whoever picked this date got fired the next day.
Now, if we don't get game day for the Kentucky game this year, no matter where it's at, if it's at Lexington or Bud Walton,
at Lexington.
Oh,
that's got to be a shoe-in. That's
I
got
think I
to be a
might go.
shoe-in.
I think I might go. Senior year, why not, right?
Lexington is not that far of a drive.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
MC, road trip.
Hey, I'm going to be up there in July.
You know, Jordan had. I need to take Jordan up there. Let her see.
I've never been to Kentucky.
You're not. Well, I was not impressed with Lexington. I'll just put it that way. I was not
Louisville.
impressed. Louisville's cool. Louisville is very cool. A lot of stuff to do. Lexington, if you're not gonna, go look at the pretty horses or go look at the distillery, there's not much to do.
Christmas time at Louisville, they've got a deal, and it's right in a smack.
You said Lexington to Fayetteville is not a bad drive.
Well, I was talking Jonesboro to
Jonesboro to Lexington.
It's 11 hours.
Yeah, it's a long drive for you. It's not for me. It's 6 for me.
Let's
on my paper jet.
Let's put a bow on this. Dan Yoakum says they just need to spend more time on their game and less on their hair and nails.
No comment.
And less time. You know what? I'm still not going to say it.
One of the top draft picks has his nails painted. I don't care.
Not going to say it.
Win games for me. I don't care what you in your time. I don't care what you do.
Look, Al Davis said it best, and I know I'm a Cowboy fan quoting a Raider, but win, baby, win. That's all. It's all I care about.
Yep.
Okay? That's all I care about. Final thoughts before we get out of here tonight. Programming note, because we're heading to the end of our season here at Inside the Hawg Pen, which hopefully goes to the end of June.
Hopefully.
Crossing our fingers.
Yes.
MC and I are going to be recording some podcasts to be released while we are gone. And if you have a topic or want a subject spoke about on a podcast, hit us up. You can hit us up. Our Twitter handles are all here on screen. If you're watching us live on Facebook and on YouTube, or hit us up on our Facebook page, Inside the Hawg Pen. By the way, if y'all haven't made it to Bogle Park, you need to go, because
facts.
Holy hell, Courtney Deifel has. I mean, they're scary. Both of these the baseball and softball both are scary.
What's going to be great is when we get both supers here.
It's going to be great, but it's going to be a nightmare at the same time.
Well, they're not the same weekend. They're not the same weekend. I think, well, at least last year, they were like a weekend apart.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, bring it all on.
Bring it all on. But we've got some other things in the lab that MC and I are working on. And like I said, we've got coming in 2024, 2025. We have got 5 days of content over on Sideline Radio Network. A long time. Our parent company is Sideline Radio Network. But you're still going to have us. Unfortunately, MC, we're still rolling strong, man. Sarah's going to be launching her own show. We've got Nathan and Bum back for our wrestling show. We've got a whole lot more things coming down the pipe. And 2024, 2025 is looking to be fun. MC, final thoughts before we get out of here tonight.
Let's let baseball keep rolling. Big series at Kentucky this weekend. I would like to see us go up there and take 2 of 3. We are a very different team on the road than we are at home. Opportunity to make a big statement. Let's go take care of business.
Sarah, what about you?
I love baseball. I will be tweeting live on Friday's game if anybody wants to join me over on Twitter and talk to me during the game, because I'm going to be bored. But also keep up with recruiting, because I'm hearing some big names coming out of the basketball chat. DJ Wagner, we got a guy on campus right now. Like, there's some really good people coming in. So just
big thank you to Meeks Design Company for sponsoring Inside the Hawg Pen. We love them. And MC, I do believe, before we get out of here tonight, I do believe we're going to be sporting some new gear here pretty soon.
We got some new swag coming our way. I gotta work it out with Meeks Design and then get everybody's swag delivered to them. But yeah, just stay tuned for that.
How about I'm gonna throw you a curveball right live on air.
Yeah.
What if we get all members of Inside the Hawg Pen together for a show in the near future to
Lexington, Kentucky versus Arkansas?
That's not soon enough.
I don't know that I could get up there this weekend for baseball, but I'm down, man.
I was talking for basketball. I was talking.
She was talking basketball, which next.
Oh, well, I thought you meant this baseball series coming up. So
no. The baseball show will be when we win the College World Series and y'all come to Fayetteville for the parade.
Yes.
Which we need to make sure we do the show like maybe the day before the parade or the day after.
I just want to be able to say we're doing a show centered around a celebration of a national title.
Yeah. And I said near future, Sarah. Near future.
To me,
Anyway,
my future is very wide because I'm young. Sorry, your future's small because you're old.
Oh, knife to the heart. Wow.
Ooh.
All right.
It's because I'm damn near 40.
All right. Well, the old man's got to go to bed on that one.
Wait,
So
hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Why am I getting the old joke? Why am I getting the old?
I took it as me. I took it as me. So, you know.
Well,
anyway.
you're the one being sassy, so I just went back at you.
That's what I do. That's what I do. Oh man! All right, we are back next week, probably at 7 p.m. But be watching be watching all of our social media just in case we have to change our times. Big thank you to everybody that hung out with us tonight on our live stream. You can catch this podcast on all of our podcast channels starting hopefully tomorrow. And Baxter Meeks says, pull that back up. Her shirts are almost ready for you. What I didn't realize is getting specialized equipment for the other thing would take so long.
Yeah, I didn't tell you about the other thing.
To
be continued on that. That's called a tease in the business, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's also called I'm scared shitless right now. MC and surprises just
it's going to be cool. It's
we're getting Zach's heart rate going now.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me
Go
about
take
it.
your blood pressure meds.
That's going to do it for us here at Inside the Hawg Pen. Like I said, thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. For Marcus MC Carlton, Savage Sarah Vogel, I'm Razorback Zach. You've been watching an all-new episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. Until next time, so long, everybody.